All right, so now on the TD podcast, we have Dodgers pitcher Joe Kelly. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thanks, Tanner. Episode 6, man. I remember.
how's everything going, man?
Thanks for the number.
How's everything going? How's camp? How's everything with all this new stuff? I know it's different than everything you've experienced so far. What's it like?
Yeah, it's definitely been. Let's just say the baseball part is easy. Everything else is hard. Just the script, how strict everything is, all the policies. It's kind of taking away the baseball feel, but as long as it's working, I know it's testing positive for the coronavirus. Our numbers are pretty low, which is great. But other than that, it used to be fun showing up to the clubhouse early before the games, hanging out, playing cards, watching TV, playing some video games. But now, with obviously the new rules, there's no couches, there's no food room. We have to eat outside. We can't really stay in our locker for more than 15 minutes. So it's been pretty hectic. So honestly, the best part about it is actually playing baseball, and then all the other extracurricular stuff, I'd say, at the field is kind of sometimes it's mentally tiring just because there's so many rules we got to follow. But we're excited for the season to open, and as long as we can make the season happen by following these rules, something that we all are willing to do.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. So on the road as well, is it like that too? Like you have to stay in a hotel till like pretty much close to batting practice?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I think that when we go on the road, instead of showing up, people would show up 5 hours before game time. It's probably going to be, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours before game time, just because it's obviously not your home park, and there's only so many places you can go once you get to the field. So most guys, just kind of hang around the hotel room, play some video games, watch Netflix, whatever you got to do, kind of stay busy before you actually get to the park. But before, obviously, everyone would show up early just because being in the clubhouse is obviously fun, hang out with your teammates, but, it's kind of almost frowned upon to hang out with your teammates for more than 10 minutes, just because nobody wants to get sick. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, this is Kay Moore, fellow Dodger fan here. Quick question. I just want to know, what's our outlook on the team this year? I know we just signed Mookie. So how are we looking this year? Pretty good? Contenders?
Yeah, we'll definitely be contenders. It's just in practice, and obviously we're playing a bunch of games versus ourselves.
Right.
But we played 3 exhibition games, and we won all 3. But I think playing against ourselves obviously helps, just because our team is obviously very talented. So day in and day out, I'm not saying that other teams don't have good players, but our team's stacked 1 through 9. So we're pretty much facing an all-star team every time in practice, and that's obviously going to get us ready for the regular season. When we don't have to face, Mookie Betts or Cody or Jock or any of these guys, what we had to do. And so I think it's only made us better. Obviously our hitters have been able to face good pitchers, so I think it's the inner squad and the practices against each other. That's all we were limited to do, but I think it also obviously made us a lot better just because we're playing each other and we have that talent in the league.
Nice, man. So I want to go back in your journey. Obviously, we've known each other for a long time, and local guy, we want to pay respect to the Corona High, the UCR, we love those kind of guys who come from where we've come from. Talk about a little bit your major league journey playing in those cities. You got to play in St. Louis, got to play in Boston, you got to play in a World Series at both those cities. What was the experience like playing in those baseball central cities? Those are baseball capitals of the world, and even LA now. What was the kind of the difference, and what was kind of the cool parts about both those?
Yeah, I think it's different, obviously, because that's the only thing I've ever known. I've heard nightmare stories from guys from other organizations who obviously don't win and don't put the best product on the field, which is pretty crazy. But I've been lucky enough to obviously play for 3 good franchises now who are historically, recognized throughout, the world, not only this country. So I think that I've been blessed just because I've had a chance to play every single day with fans. Some guys could be in a different organization where they're getting, 10,000 fans a game. In St. Louis, we pretty much sold out every game. Fenway, we sold out every game. And in Dodger Stadium, we sell out pretty much almost every game too. So I don't know what it's like, honestly, to play, how other guys have played.
Bad organization.
Like going on the road. But, that 3-game span where there's not many fans is definitely not the most fun baseball. So I've been lucky not only to play in organizations that obviously win, but that bring the fans and the passion from the fans is there. Obviously St. Louis is there. It's one of the only teams, the good teams in the Midwest. So I mean, we got fans from all different states. Obviously Boston, you get all of New England. It's kind of a small, big city, and baseball is still the number one sport there, I think. And then obviously LA, Dodgers, we win year in and year out. We're still looking for that ring. Hopefully we'll be able to get it this year, but, Dodger Stadium gets crowded with 55,000 people, 5 out of 7 nights a week. So it's been a great ride just for the fact that I've played on winning teams. I've only missed the playoffs 2 years out of my whole entire career.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Which is awesome. I love playing baseball, and it's tough for some of these guys that will probably never even experience it. But yeah, that was one of my main priorities too. Coming back to LA is when I was a free agent, I want to be on a team that wins. I want to be on a team who could compete, who would get to the postseason, not just a team that's going to go out and see what happens and sign one guy or sign 2 guys. And with the Dodgers, it's not like that. It's, we're going to sign everyone we can to win. Who cares how much money it is, and then go from there.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, this is Mac. I just wanted to talk about, since we're reminiscing on your career a little bit, how your mentality has changed when you're getting prepared to go out onto the field over the years. Has it been the same and been consistent, or have you kind of added things and dropped things as you've become a veteran?
It's been fairly similar. I think the major change came from when I was no longer starting and I went to the bullpen. The biggest thing that changed was my preparation was obviously in the weight room. Going to the park knowing that you have a chance to pitch every day is not the same as being a starting pitcher where you got your planned lifts, your planned bullpens, so it's easy to kind of lift as heavy as you want on those days. As a reliever, it's kind of like a touch and feel where you go in and you get your workout in, 3 hours, 4 hours before the game. But it's not one of those workouts where, you're going to be sore. So it's kind of more of just getting your body moving, keeping your strength there rather than kind of gaining as a starting pitcher, you kind of gain throughout the year. So I think the biggest change has been that. And then mentally, it's been great. It's kind of easy to slack off when you're a starter just because you're not going to play, for 4 straight days. And then day 5 you pitch. I think it kind of fits me as a reliever, personally, just because, I like being engaged every single day. And as a reliever, like I said, unless you throw out 3 nights in a row, you never know when you're going to pitch. So being able to come to the park knowing that you have a chance to help your team every single day, not just every 5th day, that excites me a little bit more. So I think my only kind of change in routine has just kind of been in the weight room. Other than that, it's been pretty similar.
Nice.
So Joe, winning in Boston, what was that like winning the World Series in Boston? How crazy was that? Like, how crazy were the fans? How crazy was that parade, the duck boats? How was all that?
It's definitely different than winning in another city. It has so much history, so much tradition. Being in Fenway Park, over 100 years old. Like I said, I think baseball is still a number one sport there. I mean, you got the Patriots who win every year. You got the Bruins who are in the playoffs every year. You got the Celtics who are in every year. But if the Red Sox lose and don't make the playoffs, it's the biggest story in town. So deep down inside, there's still a baseball town, even though all these other teams win. So when the Red Sox win or the Red Sox lose, it turns people's moods. And I was able to see it, with my 5 years there. It's definitely a tough place to play just because the fans are, they're engaged. So, the recognition on the field carries throughout your whole entire, day. Whether you go out to eat, whether you're on the freeway, whether you're walking down the street. So when you're winning, it's great. When you're losing, it sucks, obviously. But to win a World Series there is huge. I think we had 1 million people out there for the parade. It's cool because it's one of the only cities that, we have duck boats. So winning and going on the ride during the parade, we're on the duck boats, which is one of the iconic, kind of things about Boston, where it's a duck boat tour is how it started, and when we get to use them. So we kind of take the whole route throughout the city, and I think that just brings another aspect to that city. But like I said, it's opening day is a holiday. Winning the World Series is a holiday. I mean, teachers call us class, for playoff games. So it's a baseball town. Winning the World Series, you go back. I was fortunate. We played them the next year. I went back, and you always be remembered. You always be part of that history. Pretty much any restaurant you go, you get free meal. You get free beer if you want to drink.
Sweet.
So it's pretty intense, that's for sure. But winning there is definitely like winning. It's not like winning in, not Atlanta, but like in Kansas City, the Royals or something like that.
Right.
Winning there is definitely the big leagues of all the big leagues, I would say.
How did you celebrate that World Series win? Did you guys go out with a bunch of the guys, or was it like, I'm going home with my wife, I'm gonna just drink a bottle of scotch by myself, or was it like you're going out with? Like, what are you doing? What did you do after that World Series win?
We all hang out as a team, but after that, it's pretty exhausting. Some guys go out and party. For me, it was, kind of just stay low key. It was around Halloween, so I think Halloween was maybe the next day or 2 days after. So I went out trick-or-treating in my Boston neighborhood after the World Series.
Just
so,
Joe Kelly shows up on
it's
your
one of those
doorstep.
things where you have to do a bunch of signings and memorabilia stuff and make a bunch of appearances. So honestly, after winning the World Series, like the next 5 days of that part of winning the World Series, you're kind of dedicated to do a bunch of different stuff, shows and like I said, signings and appearances and speeches. So you're pretty worn out. There's not much more time, but for myself, I hung out with my family, enjoyed it. Kind of keep them all involved throughout the process. So it was one of the things that it was fun, especially with Knox. He was old enough to kind of realize, and then with Ash, coming with me, going to school, talking to kids, signing. So that's definitely the cool part about winning the World Series.
Nice. Joe, gotta ask the question since it was all over the internet and Barstool Sports is posting it at this point. 1, the broken window, and then 2 is how's the changeup doing now?
The change was nasty.
I love that. Hey, and it was moving, and it moved too much. That was the problem.
Yeah, it's gross.
I love that.
I still got Justin Turner looking the other day.
I love that.
It's ready to rock.
I love
But yeah,
that.
the broken window wasn't fun. $800.
And is that in Corona? Is that fixed now?
No, that was my house in Arizona.
Okay.
Where I live in spring training.
Nice.
Yeah, that wasn't the best timing either. My twins were born like 2 days later. I was it was hard to keep my AC bill down with a broken window.
Yeah, and how much shit did the wife give you on that one?
She was just more surprised than anything. It was one of those like,
About how nasty it
the
was,
heck
yeah.
did you do that?
Yeah, that's too nasty.
It was one of those. And she was like, all right, you better fix it. Baby, and I was like, all right. Took me like 6 hours to clean up all that stuff.
So this was basically a college episode for us. We talked about some college stories, college memories. What was your kind of, if you have any, craziest college story or best college memory you have from UCR that will kind of stick with you for your time?
I think my favorite was probably my freshman year when we won the Big West. It was against UC Irvine, and all we had to do was win one game to win the league. And we went out Friday, lost. We went out Saturday and lost. And so we're like, damn, we get swept. They're going to win the league. But we ended up coming back on Sunday. And it was cool because I got to close it out, and I think we won by 2 runs. So as a freshman, that is obviously one of the things that I'll remember my whole entire career because that was the only year we won it. But we went out on Sunday, beat UC Irvine. I got to pitch the last inning, get a save. Last guy popped up the shortstop, and then all kind of just dogpile on the mound. So that's probably my greatest memory. I think that's cool just because we were loaded with talent, but we weren't loaded as people were picking us to win. We were end up being ranked, I think, 13th was our lowest in the country, but we were like 19 going into the playoffs. Like we were a top 25 team pretty much after the first 2 weeks, and we held that. And we had a first rounder, obviously. We had a couple other big name guys. But to be a part of that as an 18-year-old kid, just learning how to pitch too. I think that was probably one of the most special memories that I have.
I think UCR could use you now, Joe. They're pretty rough now.
Yeah. Hey, I'd go back and I'd probably dominate. The kids would have no chance.
Actually, I remember a funny story about when you just started pitching when you were like a senior. and I was like a sophomore and I faced you. And it was like, you just like dosed the guy in front of me. And I was like, this is not going to be good. Like 91. I think I put him off the end of the bat and like, I don't know what happened, but it was just like.
Just bleeder to first.
Yeah, just so scared. All right, so we always end the interview with a rapid fire questions. We would put 30 seconds on.
Sick. Rapid fire.
So we're going to get after it right now. All right, we'll put 30 seconds on the clock and here we go.
30. All right.
Favorite drink?
Coke. Coca-Cola.
Okay. Xbox or PS?
Xbox.
What game?
Call of Duty.
What's your loadout?
Ooh, it's only in 30 seconds, but it's too much time.
All right, we'll skip that one. College or NFL?
NFL.
Favorite pregame meal?
I would have to go peanut butter and jelly.
Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Funniest teammate?
Ooh. Damn. That's so hard. Is it current or not current?
All time.
Yeah, all time.
All time?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Brandon Workman.
Okay. Favorite stadium?
PNC.
If you had any teammate from your career to help bury a body, who would it be?
Ooh, David Price.
All right, then we got one bonus question. So time's up. One bonus question. If you played a full season in center field, what would your line be? I know you like to hit, and I know this is going to be out of the ordinary.
I'd win a gold glove. And I would slap a 262 after like 13 bombs.
13.
That's real.
How many bags? How many bags do you have?
23.
That's a good year.
Hey,
You'll take that year with a gold glove.
You might be in center field the second year.
yeah.
I'd take that year.
Oh, thanks, Joe. I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll get you on after you guys win it all this year, hopefully.
Hey, I'm down.
All right, man.
Thanks, Joe.
Enjoy the year. Stay healthy. Good luck tomorrow night.
Nice joke.
Thanks, guys.
Later, brother.
All right.